Centuries ago, map makers, they used to have people that were trained to sketch out maps. And because they didn't know all of the world at the time, when they would come to the end of the known world and the end of the parchment, they would draw a dragon. They would sketch a dragon at the edge of the chart. And that dragon symbolized, now you're going into an unknown, uncharted territory. And when people saw the dragon, when captains would see this as they laid out the chart and they were charting a course for their ship, they would see the dragon and they would get afraid because, you know what? We've never been there. Nobody's been there before. We don't know what might happen on the other side. Back then they thought you'd fall right off the edge of the world, right? So people were afraid. And so they wouldn't push on to discover new lands, new people, and new opportunities. And folks, that's exactly what's happening today. Right now, today, 2020, right now, all across the world, fear has petrified people. Are you listening to me? When I studied for this message, the one thing that popped out to me was like, this is the message people need to hear. Do not be afraid. Remember the words of Jesus Christ. Remember who he is. Remember what he's gone through. Remember that he is there for you. Do not be afraid. Don't allow your fears to petrify you, to paralyze you. Why? Because you're going to miss out on the blessings that God wants to give to you, that he wants you to enjoy in your life. And I really like what Jesus says here in this passage in verse 10, where he begins by saying, he says, I tell you. Do you see that phrase there? I tell you. Look up here. It's not John. This isn't Pastor Mark. This is Jesus Christ himself who is confirming and encouraging and saying to us, I'm saying these things. Listen, if you got faith in Jesus Christ, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.